The default layout that we've included with your WordPress theme is what we call a minimized layout. And the reason we call it that is because it typically does not include the showcase or slider towards the top of the page. It is intended to be used as a information page. We'll take a look at one of them that is styled as such. It's an information page. So you would have basically your menu up at the top, your website title, but you get to the goods of your page pretty quickly. Basically, you want to have your content above what is called the fold. And the term "the fold" comes from the newspaper business, where you would have your newspaper folded in half. And the most important information is contained on that front fold before you open up the page. And that's important because that's what people see when they look into the newspaper box when they go to buy the newspaper out of a box on the sidewalk. If it's engaging enough, people are going to buy it. If your web page is engaging enough above the fold, what people see when they open up their browser, you want to keep their attention. And that's what the minimized layout is really all about. It is about getting to the goods of whatever the page is quickly. Now, there are other types of layouts that have different bits that fill up parts of this region of your page, and they serve a purpose. The contact page might have a map. The home page might have a slider which showcases certain things in your site, but you might not want to include those on all pages because it detracts from the content of those pages and getting your visitor to read that information. And so for information pages, such as the privacy policy, you get to the goods right away. The fold typically, I'm going to say, is probably about here on the older browsers, but of course, depending upon the web browser and how many toolbars you have up at the top of your page and whether or not you have it maximized or not, the fold will be in different places, but you want to get to the goods of your page as quickly as possible. That's where the minimized or default layout in this WordPress theme comes in. So there's not much difference in the general settings for the minimized layout except that it doesn't have a slider, so you're not going to see a slider here. So search engine optimization tab is the same. The layout tab is going to be slightly different in that you're not going to see a showcase area. But by default, in many of the pages that we've set up already, we've specified that the SEO region is going to have the SEO sidebar associated with it. And in that, we have one widget called SEO tags, and that's the H1, H2, H3, H4, which are referenced here. So H1, we probably want to have definitely set up. H2 is our email and okay, so that's where that comes in. And when you update this and hit update, your SEO score or progress, I would say, will update as well. And it's important to try to fill in as much information as possible so that search engines can properly index your page. Okay, so let's go back to the privacy page. We're going to reload. We're going to find out that the learn about our email and privacy policies here shows up just below. And that's where the H1 and H2 comes in. If you happen to have an H3, which is the third and the fourth header tags, and they will show up below that. But generally speaking, the H1 and H2 are the most important. In configuring the rest of the page, you really don't need to touch much else unless you really wanted to go further into configuring it. Basically, understand that the default, also known as the minimized layout, is intended so that you're not going to be having a lot of stuff going on up top. Again, just like with any other of our layouts, there will be locked regions, which are denoted by a little lock symbol here. And any of these components typically are configured on the General tab. So if you're going to see a custom menu here, it's usually the drop-down menu, which is defined over here. The contact form menu, again, is defined drop-down contact form. The logo, again, is under the branding right in this area here. And that's more or less all there is to the minimized page. Again, we recommend use it for any page that is designed for content, such as like a privacy policy or maybe more about the company, as it will enable your visitors to get to the goods of the content quicker. Anyways, I hope that answers your questions.